Hi there, guys. This is Claude.
And I'm Clinton.
And we're the Lamest Defenders. On today's episode, we are doing the Avengers Endgame review for the 4K and the Blu-ray release. So, none of that digital release stuff. So, if you guys are ready, so are we.
I am.
We're in the endgame now.
So, we're not really going to review the movie per se. Everybody's seen it. It's number one box office movie of all time.
It's been in theaters twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's seen it.
They liked it so much they,
it was good.
Twice.
It was a good movie.
But it's we're basically going to talk about the commentary track that was for almost the entire 3 hours of the movie. So we're not going to really talk a lot of story points, but there are going to be pretty big spoilers for this. So if you are the one or two people that have not seen the movie yet, please.
Living in the woods.
Yeah. Just go ahead and fast forward a little bit.
Right.
Fast forward about
Why are you
5
watching
minutes.
this?
Yeah. But so basically, it was really interesting that they, when Tony Stark is in the Milano in the beginning, they CGI'd his weight loss. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that it's like nothing computers can't do now.
I wish they would have showed something behind the scenes.
People back from the dead too. So
I wish they would have showed something behind the scenes where, I wonder how they did that, because I know they could use green screen too a lot of times for like limbs missing and stuff. So I wonder if they put like strips of green screen and like made him like gaunt in his cheeks and his ribs. So it'd be interesting to
really
see that.
Expensive Photoshop.
Yeah, because Robert Downey Jr. he doesn't lose no weight. You know, he just shows up. He's not.
He just shows up, gets his $50 million per movie.
Yeah, and he's like
very smart.
Right.
Also, too, Smart Hulk, as they called him. They really stretched their creativity on that one, I feel. But he was supposed to be at the end of Infinity War. Banner and Hulk were kind of having this tug of war in the Hulkbuster suit at the end of Infinity War, and they were going to have Smart Hulk emerge out of that suit, but then they thought that tonally it didn't fit.
Yeah, because that was a win for the Avengers, really, and really it was a movie about loss.
Yeah, you have like Thanos ripping I forget which gem, the soul gem out of
Mind.
The mind gem out of Vision, and then you have like Hulk show up out of the bush. It's like, well, it's already over now. Not much else to do.
I'm back.
Yeah,
it's like, why couldn't you do that earlier?
Yeah.
So I wonder if he would have actually talked then, so it was a meld. The coolest thing that I remember last year, and there's a bunch of spoilers, but for Funko Pops, a lot of the times they'll leak, or somebody will leak renderings of the new Pops that are coming out in the year. And they had a pop of Hulk popping out of the Hulkbuster armor. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And the pop looked really neat. I'm pretty sure they didn't make it, like a physical edition. But it was kind of weird because they did that at the last minute where they changed it up where he wasn't popping out of the armor like that.
Hawkeye, in the beginning of the movie, Hawkeye loses his family to the snap, which obviously it takes place in Infinity War, but that was supposed to close out the movie as well.
Yeah.
But again, tonally, it didn't really fit. It was just kind of
you're in a war.
All of a sudden, now you're going back to Hawkeye. Like, here's we know what's going to happen here. But it was a great way to lead off Endgame.
Set the mood there.
Reset everything. Like, it only been a year, but don't forget it's happening. So
where he just connected both films really well.
Set his character up too very nicely, I thought. And also there were for the time travel explanations, they had a legitimate quantum physicist show up and explain time travel to the writers' room, and I thought that was really cool. That's just kind of make it, and then through the writers, they were able to explain to us. Like, I just like that. It's kind of a little Star Trek-y. I just liked it. I don't know. There was one thing that they talked about on the commentary track that they did not even bother filming, but I wish they had. When Thanos goes back in time, when he gets the pin particles from Nebula, he was going to go back to 2012 Avengers, which is going to get Captain America. He's going to kill Captain America. Then when he shows up on Earth at the end of the movie, he was going to step through the portal and just toss Captain's head on the ground. And that would have just been like whoa.
It would have been really interesting,
That would
but
be so like, oh my god, the stakes are raised now. Like he's the only Captain America left. He's got to survive this.
Yeah.
So, I thought that would have been really cool, but little too gruesome probably for a Disney movie. But
and the test audiences, maybe they're like, I thought this was a superhero movie.
Exactly. So there was a second disc for features, which included, I think, 7 features, a gag reel, a few deleted scenes.
Yeah.
About less than an hour, maybe a little over an hour of extra content. The first feature was all about remembering Stan Lee, which it was about like 7 to 8 minutes.
Both of our favorite one.
Yeah, and it got a little dusty in the room.
Good luck holding back tears on that one.
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
It just showed some of him as the various characters he's played throughout the MCU, and it was just
started with Iron Man 1 with him as Hugh Hefner, and it kind of went to each one. It was so cool.
The cast loved him. Yeah. Everybody loved this guy. It's like, I hope he wasn't a jerk in real life.
No.
It just really sucked.
But,
it was great. That was by far the highlight of the feature set.
And then for the second one, it focused on Robert Downey Jr. and kind of the journey he's had. You know, basically he held the entire torch for the whole MCU, because if Iron Man 1 sucked,
if it failed, it was done.
And I remember watching Iron Man 1 and the post-credit scene with Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, good luck, this is never going to happen. And then Incredible Hulk that same year came out in July. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, because the post-credit scene had Robert Downey Jr. I was like, all right, maybe they're on to something. And then it just kind of went from there. But I remember seeing Iron Man 1 and thinking, this is never going to happen.
The most interesting part for me was the Jon Favreau. He was lobbying heavily for Robert Downey Jr. in that movie, and the casting director was kind of like, the executives were like, but basically, Jon Favreau created the MCU.
Yeah.
So we have him to thank for this.
Yeah. Maybe I wouldn't thank him for Iron Man 2. But
Yeah. Well, all right. Look, you gotta give the man a break. All right?
Definitely. Go see Lion King.
Man Out of Time is basically retrospective on Captain America. It was basically his journey through his 3 movies and the arc he has. And they made a good point, because in the first Avengers, he was only out of the ice for like a month, basically, if that. So now he's at the end of Endgame. He's been out for 7-10 years now at this point.
He's
8
cussing
years
now.
Yeah, he's cussing. Yeah, he's lost a lot of faith in institutions, and he's kind of
government.
Yeah, so it's really interesting the character growth that he goes through.
And I believe it's the longest one. I think it's around 20 minutes. And besides the Stan Lee one, I think this was my second favorite one.
Well, the only thing that bothered me about it was how they said, like, oh, Chris Evans, he wasn't sure if he wanted to do this because he didn't want to be in the spotlight and all this stuff and carry a franchise. I'm like, you were Human Torch. Like, in 2 movies, you were the Human Torch. Like,
maybe he was just frustrated with his experiences with that, franchise too.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you were in a blockbuster movie before where you played just the most flamboyant, charismatic character. And it's like, do you not want to play Captain? But it worked out for the best, thankfully.
I was just thinking about casting for Captain America, and then I heard Chris Evans. I was like, oh, that sucks. And then, then you really start, and then you see him on screen, and you're like, it couldn't have been anybody else.
He was a perfect choice.
Yeah,
he nailed it. Like Robert Downey. Like everybody's casting was I don't know about Black Widow.
Yeah,
I like Scarlett Johansson, but she's not like.
Peter Parker, I mean, they had their chance with me, if they want to do a hard reboot. But anyway, the next feature was Black Widow. Focused on her character, Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of that character from Iron Man 2, which I think if you look back at Iron Man 2, her Black Widow doesn't really fit with kind of where it began, or, where it's at now, just because she kind of she was that secretary, like, sex symbol, and it was just like...
Well, she was undercover S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So. But it just, I don't know, it doesn't... I saw Iron Man 2 again recently, and I was just like, man, this just doesn't seem like the same character. Obviously, she grew, and that's kind of what they're saying in this feature is, her entire journey of it.
She was a loner in the beginning. Now she became so reliant on this family that she is willing to sacrifice herself, basically, for it.
And they made that point. It was either in the commentary or this feature where the Russo brothers were like, back in Winter Soldier, Captain America was like, I can't trust you unless you open yourself and you stop.
She slowly does.
Yeah. And I'm pretty excited about the Black Widow movie, even though it was a little bit too late.
Speaking of the Russo brothers, that's the next feature in line. It just has a nice little, I guess, retrospective on them as well.
Yeah.
From Winter Soldier up to Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Just how it just shows you how passionate they are, honestly, about it, because they are like laughing the whole time. They're not stunt coordinators, but they're basically like they're showing the actors like, okay, just do this, do this. Like they had control over this movie.
Because and then Winter Soldier, when you watch the action scenes in it was perfect. Like,
they know how to make a movie.
That highway scene with Winter Soldier versus Falcon, Cap, and Black Widow. It kind of showed the artwork and behind the scenes and what it actually looked like on screen is very similar. So they do have a direct vision and they followed it perfectly.
Absolutely. They know what they're doing.
My favorite point too was them like talking about their journey, like writing these characters, and it showed that in Civil War the Avengers basically break up.
Yeah.
And then they really highlight the fact that they lost Infinity Wars because they were, they
were separated families.
Everyone's doing their own solo albums, like the Beatles broke up. Yeah. So it was really cool to, in their own words, to kind of highlight that and make you realize that whole fact.
Yeah. Yeah, something that I never really, you see it, but it doesn't really kind of strike home until they say that. Like, oh, well, they probably would have won if they were all together.
And it really gives credit to not only the Russo brothers, but their connection with the two writers, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, who, like you said,
from the beginning,
and it just shows that they're literally the perfect team to bring the Marvel Cinematic Universe to life.
When you have that cohesiveness and the same people working together for as long as they have, they're like, oh, are you thinking about this? Yeah. Like, okay, cool. So they just bounce everything off and fix something in an instant.
They should have
snap.
Boom. They should have done a feature on those two guys.
I would, yeah.
So for the next feature was the Women of Marvel. They're obviously, like watching it, we're not women, so the impact, of it is big. Obviously, have all these women in the Marvel universe and stuff like that. But this feature kind of seemed disingenuous to me because it seems
it was almost a clip show.
Yeah, it felt like Marvel and especially Disney lately have been bragging about, they're like, look at these women, and this feature is like, it's them humble bragging to a point where
12 years later, first solo.
And then they're like,
first solo female character.
And then after 5-10 years of people begging for a Black Widow solo movie, they finally make it, and it's just like a little too late,
Yeah, the fact that Captain Marvel had the first female solo movie was kind of like...
Yeah, I wonder how Scarlett Johansson felt about that. But, this feature, it wasn't that long. It was just,
less than 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I went to... Which... Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of shoved this in here. But,
right.
All right.
No, it's just one of those features where it's unfortunate that they should have been doing this from the very beginning, they're like, look at us, we're so progressive, but it's kind of good job humble bragging, because I know a lot about that. So so the very next feature, the last one on the the whole feature list, was just Thor and his journey to becoming someone that lives my lifestyle.
And that was actually like Captain America. Also, you're watching this character for 10 years and you never realize that, oh yeah, he just lost his entire planet. Like, his home is gone, his parents are gone, his brother's gone, his family's gone. Like you said, his family's gone. He loses an eye.
Closest thing he had was the Avengers. Stops talking to him. Valkyrie, he's even a shut-in from her. And then he has Korg and Meek, which are the best. They were honestly one of the best.
Basically like us, basically.
We had to ask our parents to get on the mic whenever someone's cussing at us.
But it shows like his growth as a character. He experienced the most loss. And the fact that he's putting so much blame of Infinity War on him himself, and just he can't handle it. It's just his breaking point.
And they say in the feature too, and really you notice it while watching it, is Chris Hemsworth. He really nailed it. The sense of loss, but also his
comedic.
He's such an underrated comedic
Yeah.
Actor, and just seeing him basically become the dude. And they showed the fat suit that they put over him.
60 to 80 pounds.
That's
it was
insane.
like actual weight. Like,
yeah.
You had to carry that around.
Yeah. Good thing he's already bulky already. It's strong, man. And then they put it's like little foam pieces on the side of his mouth, so it made him sound like he's gained weight and he's just exhausted all the time.
So weird.
Yeah,
it's just crazy that attention to detail is just there.
It's
pretty awesome. There's a gag reel as well. That's less than 2 minutes. I feel like there's a lot more footage of that, but
the B-roll gag.
So they chose 2 minutes just to have it, which is fine. But then it followed by
it's probably the only stuff that they didn't cuss in. So
probably, well,
it was clean.
Like Robert Downey, he's cussing in some of it too.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we got him. All right. But then there's 6 deleted scenes. One's called Goji Berries, which was just a really sweet scene with Mama and Papa Stark, and they're making dinner. Gwyneth Paltrow tells Robert Downey to go get the madam,
the queen.
The queen, yeah. He goes out and gets her. Bombs on board was War Machine and Captain America reminiscing about Captain's first adventure, basically when he's on the ship in the first Avenger.
Right.
He's like, well, why don't you just jump out of the plane? So that was kind of funny. The suckiest army in the galaxy.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, it was when Rocket was completely criticizing the Avengers for taking hours to defeat the Chitauri army in the first Avengers. When he's like, well, why didn't you just attack the mothership? Like, well, we didn't know that was a thing you could do. Like didn't everybody know that? It's the stupidest army out there.
And the reason they cut it too is in the commentary they talk. It was either the Russo brothers or the writers were saying it was too inside baseball for that scene about Chitauri.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I wish they would have just added it.
And there's another one with Rocket and Thor saying, you used to freaking live here, where they're trying to sneak around Odin's palace, and Thor doesn't know where to go.
Right.
My wish is that for the Blu-ray release, they had Bradley Cooper in a raccoon suit, like just doing the voice and watch. Like, that would have just been so funny to me. I would have loved that. Like, just see him running around.
Sean Gunn, he actually has the puppet and he's like interacting with the actors, which I think is hilarious.
I know. I just for this release, that would have been so great to see Bradley Cooper. And
maybe Guardians 3.
That'd be great. And then Tony and Howard offering Tony a job. That was cut. He's like, you want to work for me? Potts? Like, no way those two could ever work together. Like, that would last for like a day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Too much pompousness.
And then Avengers Take a Knee.
Yeah.
So after Iron Man is snaps and wipes out Thanos and his army, everyone's standing around watching him slowly die.
Because he's grilled cheese.
Yeah. And then Hawkeye, overcome with grief, just takes a knee, and he puts his head in his hands, burger in his hands, and Black Panther turns around, sees him do it, and then he takes a knee out of respect, and then all the Avengers slowly take a knee, and that actually gave me goosebumps. Like, that was really cool. I wish they'd left that in. That would have been a good scene to leave in.
The one thing that I will say, this has something to do with that, but a little bit more generally about the movie, is obviously that scene's powerful and stuff like that, but they took away completely from his death from Infinity War, because when you see Thanos stab Tony Stark, that's the gut-wrenching thing when you watch it for the first time in the movie theater. You're like, Tony Stark's going to die in this. So really, it took the wind out of his death for me, at least, because you already saw kind of, emotionally, like, Tony Stark was going to die in the last one, and then it just felt really cheap.
It would have been the third time in about 4 hours to watch it. So that would make sense.
So I just wish they kind of switched that up or something like that. Yeah. But that's a tangent.
Yeah. So that is it. That is all the special features, gag reels, goofy balls, and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, the movie's great.
Yeah.
The movie's a solid ending to this whole arc saga. Commentary was great as well. It really showed a lot of insight in the movie.
Yeah, I loved
features, I could have taken or leaving them, honestly. Like, it's just okay.
Some of them, felt kind of hashed in there. In some characters, like Cap, got 20 minutes. Then you have Black Widow.
It's like 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot to process. I mean, I wouldn't. This could be eventually some like Criterion released, down the line a few years, where it's just jam packed with stuff, and it still wouldn't be enough. So, in the end, though, it's for the movie, and the movie's great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're a Marvel fan, you probably already have it.
Yeah, you've already bought it. You've already watched it a couple times, probably, but.
So we give this our
go.
stamp of approval.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah. It's the Lamest Defenders. It's the lamest movie we've seen yet. So
yeah. Well, thanks so much, guys, for watching this one. And if you haven't already, we're actually doing a playthrough of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that out and see our hijinks and shenanigans in that one.
Please be sure to click like if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you want to see more of us, and leave a comment just to say hi.
Or your favorite part. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Before we're done, we still have one promise to keep. If you can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it. Whatever it takes.